Hi guys, my name's Josh and today I'm back at you for some more music business tips and tricks. So this week I want to talk to you all about the future of the music industry, especially post Covid-19, because like me and many other people, we're all questioning what's going to be happening with the music industry right now and what's going to be happening with the music industry post Covid-19 once, if and when, that whole craziness is over. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about that. We actually did an article on this a couple months ago, but I thought it would be good to update everybody on this situation because some things have changed from what was in the article, and we'll get into that all today. But first, I'm going to tell you a little bit about ourselves. So we are Infinite Vibrations and we are a musician's career development agency, and what we do is we equip musicians with the professional skills to pursue a career in the working world of the music industry. From free career strategy sessions to music business workshops and a whole lot more, we provide support to emerging musicians and to musicians who are looking for a little bit more experience to further their career. And if you want to find out more, you can visit our website at infinitevibrations.co.uk, or you can drop us an email at infinitevibrations0@gmail.com. But now let's talk about the future of the music industry. So today I'm going to break down what's been going on with the music industry during the pandemic and what's been going on with the music business. And then I'm going to give my opinion or our opinions on where we see the future of the music industry. So let's start right back at the beginning, back in March when lockdown first took place. Now I'm going to begin by talking about the live music industry, or that side of music, because this was the side of music that was most heavily affected by lockdown, because as I'm sure you know, nearly every gig, festival or show was either cancelled or postponed until 2021 at the very latest. And because musicians earn most of their income from live music, this meant that it was a detrimental loss to their income streams, and there wasn't many other places that musicians could be earning an income at the time, especially during the summer months where musicians make most of their income due to the festival period. No festivals meant no income. But why was this such a gamble in the first place? Well, this is because of the way the music industry has changed over the past 10 years. Musicians earn most of their income from their live music performance, because they don't earn as much as they used to through recorded music. Musicians could no longer make as much of an income from their recorded music because of streaming services. Now, sites like Spotify, Google Play, Amazon and Apple Music all give away music to some degree for free. Yes, consumers can sign up for a monthly subscription to get rid of ads, but that's what it's there to do, to get rid of ads and to have the user have a better experience on those platforms. So where does this leave the musicians? Well, this means that the tech giants who founded these companies earn a lot of money from the music on the platforms. In the UK, it was estimated that streaming is worth £1 billion in revenue per year. But artists see as little as 13% of that revenue. On average, Spotify pays out 0.0028 of a pound per one stream of an artist's song. This means that, on average, it takes 343.5 streams to generate £1 and 2,948 streams to earn 1 hour's UK minimum wage, which is very hard for artists to consistently reach. According to data from the Recordingartist, which is an organisation that pursues the ethical and fair use of the internet for musicians, found some more data on this. And they found that sites like Pandora and YouTube are even worse, with Pandora paying as little as 0.0016 of a pound and YouTube paying 0.0012 of a pound. And the best current streaming site for music, but still not able to earn a living wage, is Amazon at 0.009 of a pound. So why does it seem as if musicians get the worst cut in this deal? That's a really good question actually, and it's actually something that musicians and organisations have begun to sort of fight or lobby against. And there's been an organisation or a movement set up by Tom Gray, called the Broken Record Movement, which aims to highlight the unjustified lack of income for musicians, as well as several other elements of the industry, which to him seem broken. Now, thanks in part to the effort of these guys and the awareness that they've raised on these issues, the government is actually this week announcing that they're going to be examining the effect that music streaming has on musicians, record labels, and the sustainability of the future of the music industry. This is amazing news because it's the first time since the advent of streaming that an outside body to the music industry is going to be looking at how this affects us musicians, how this affects the record labels, and how this affects the future of music. We'll have to wait and see to whether or not they call any reform to the system or the business models of streaming, but it's a really good start to maybe looking at how we can change the industry for the better of everyone, not just the artists, because yes, the artists do need a fairer wage in some cases, but for everybody, the labels, the tech giants. We want this industry to be all-inclusive and we want everybody to win, and it is possible, and I think it starts here. But what do you think of streaming? Do you think artists are paid a fair wage? Let us know in the comments down below. Now, let's talk about the second element of this, live music, and live music venues to be more specific. As I mentioned, the live music sector took a really big hit during lockdown, and not only did this have a detrimental effect on musicians, but it had a detrimental effect on the venues and the owners of these venues themselves. Now, there have been lots of ups and downs and bumps in the road of the past couple of months concerning live music and the art sector as a whole, so I'm going to attempt to take you through it right now. So, it was announced that the arts would be receiving a £1.57 billion arts recovery package, or a culture recovery package as I think the government called it. And this is a really positive thing. But a couple of weeks and months after this had been released, it has been reported that people who really need this fund, this cultural recovery fund, they aren't getting it. And these are people such as the musicians and the self-employed artists who haven't seen a penny of this. Although there have been people who have seen some of this money. There have been venues that I know of who have received money to help them through the next couple of months, or at least up until March 2021, which is a really great thing. But unfortunately, there have been other places which, apart from the musicians, who haven't received any of this income. And one of these places is a venue called Basement, which is based in Yorkshire. And they went to Twitter to voice their opinions and why they didn't get any of the cultural recovery fund. And unfortunately, this included reasons such as not being cultural enough or not being geographically located in a place where the government want to invest in. And this is a really big shame because these guys have spent the past 15 years of their lives building a culture and community in Yorkshire, and they provide a hell of a lot of opportunities for musicians, let me tell you that. So, back in July and August, we were beginning to see the ease of lockdown and things looked a little bit more hopeful. Venues were starting to reopen and some gigs were starting to be put back on. But this quickly turned around with the introduction of the 10 PM curfew. And on top of this, the introduction of the three-tiered lockdown, regional lockdown system didn't bring any joy to anyone's faces. And the real icing on the cake, as I'm sure all you musicians, venue owners and members of the music industry have seen, the comments which were made by Rishi Sunak. Now, these comments were interpreted as him saying that the arts are not viable and that people in this industry will have to retrain and get different jobs, which in some hand is quite offensive. All of these elements coupled together have resulted in quite a toxic and angry environment in the music industry right now. People are, for lack of a better word, pissed off at what they've been seeing and the lack of incremental support for musicians and every single member of the music industry during this time. And then to be told that the arts aren't viable, you can see why people got a bit angry at Rishi. And all of this leaves people really questioning whether or not live music will return as we know it, and I don't think it will. We've nearly lost many of our venues, including the Deaf Institute and Gorilla in Manchester, which was luckily picked up by a buyer. So, where does this leave you as a musician if you can't earn a living off of recorded music and you now can't earn a living off of live music? What do you do? Up until now, things have seemed pretty bleak, but we believe that Covid-19 may have just accelerated some underlying trends in the industry which will change the industry and benefit everybody for good. For example, a lack of income from live music has highlighted the unjustified lack of income from streaming services. And the lack of support from the UK government has highlighted the fragility and validity of the music industry. We think that if change needs to take place, we need to change the way in which we operate our careers. We need to redefine what it means to be a musician. And what I mean by this is that we need to really look at the way in which we operate our careers as musicians. And we need to redefine what it means to be a musician. Not only that, but we need to adapt to Covid-19 and the digital era if we ever wish to see a fully fledged career in music. Because it looks like, unfortunately, Covid is here to stay for a couple more months, if not to a year. And by then, lots of things will have changed in the music industry, such as live music and streaming. This is an important time in the history of the global music industry. I don't think we've seen changes like this since the inception of record labels in Motown music, and that was the 1950s. So you need to ask yourself, what kind of musician do you want to be, and what are you doing to get there? Many have advocated for an independent approach to music, and this means that a musician goes about his career not looking to be signed by a record label or not looking to be managed by a manager, but they could still seek the help of a team to help give them advice and guidance. And this is a really good way of looking at things, because as an independent musician you have more control over the money you earn and the music you make. But this isn't for everybody, and getting signed is sometimes some people's end goal in music, and that's perfectly fine. We're all looking to achieve the exact same thing, we just have different methods about going about it. I think in the end what really matters is to become more of an entrepreneur with your music career. If we think like entrepreneurs, we need to view our careers as businesses with commercial value rather than just hobbies, and this is the first step to pursuing a successful career in music, realising that as well as your music being an art form, it is also a business that brings you income and helps you to live in life. From here on, we can garner our own opportunities, such as changing from live events to live streams, or as unfortunate as that is, we have to adapt. As well as this, we need to create our own income streams, so we are not dependent on these tech giants. And I'm not saying that these tech giants are a bad thing entirely, but I feel that our dependence on these people has given them a lot more power than they should have. For example, you could earn an income from teaching, busking, composing and merchandise, as well as just your original music. Many have questioned whether or not a career in music is still viable, and I'm here to tell you, yes it bloody is. Independent hip-hop musician Russ has garnered a very successful career in music, and I'm going to tell you the method which he used. What he did is he released one song a week for the duration of the start of his career, and that tacticalness has now landed him in a position where he can pursue a career in music not only independently but as an entrepreneur, and he can pursue other opportunities which bring him income from his music, such as sponsorships and merchandise and all those other things that can subsidise your income streams as well as your original music. Because it is this collaboration of all these different income streams which is what will help you to live off of music. It's about being clever, it's about being strategic, it's about being entrepreneurial, and most of all, it's about adapting. So, I hope today's video helped you guys in understanding where the music industry is, where it's going, and how you fit into the scope of the wider music industry. If you ever feel like you're struggling with your music career, then you can book in for your free Musician's Career Strategy session. And that's a session where you'll get to sit down with the experts here at Infinite Vibrations, and we'll help you strategise on the best next steps to keep your career pushing forward. The link to book your session is down below, but be careful, there's limited spaces available, so get in as early as you can. Don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, and please consider subscribing to our channel for future content. We've got a lot more music business tips and tricks to give, and it will be awesome to see you guys over there. But that's all from me, I'll see you all in the next one.